it started with the BRRRR strategy, which BRRRR is BRRRR. So 4 R's, it's an acronym, right? So B is buy, and then it is rehab, and then it is rent, and then it is refinance, and it's repeat, right? So what that means is you buy a house, you fix it up, you put a renter in there, and then hopefully you can refinance your money out of there and do it again. But the trick of that, the math to make that process work, and it's an amazing strategy, but the math to make that work is you have to figure out how to buy properties at about 80% or less of what they're worth. If you can find deals that are 20% off, you can keep snowballing it over and over and over, okay? So we said, okay, well, to start the BRRRR method, this refinancing method, we have to be able to find deals for 20% off, right? So we found a deal at 20% off. We're like, oh, great, right? Let's try to find another deal at 20% off. But you start realizing if you're going to do any of this marketing, you should do some volume of this marketing, right? Like if you're going to send text messages or cold calls or direct mail, if you send one email, you should probably send 1,000 or 10,000, right? So we start sending all, right? If you're gonna do it, so we start marketing, and then before you know it, like we have more properties than we can buy. We don't have enough money. We don't have enough bandwidth. Or like, we don't want to own all these properties. What should we do? We could say, hey, Mr. Seller, even though you'll sell us this house for 20% off, we're not interested in it, right? But instead of doing that, we said, hey, why don't we try to team up with another investor and say, hey, other investor, do you want this deal? And maybe we can get this deal at 75% of value. Maybe you'll pay 80% of value, and we'll keep that 5% difference. Seller's happy to get rid of the property, investors happy, we keep that 5% difference, right? Well, we did that once, and we're like, actually, when we do that, we get paid faster than if we do the BRRRR strategy. Oh, and by the way, we're pretty good at marketing, and we can go to multiple markets, and it's COVID, so people are comfortable selling their house over the phone now for the first time in the history of the United States. So it was kind of like the perfect storm of all those things that came together, and we're like, all right, let's hire 20 virtual assistants. Let's send thousands and thousands of text messages and phone calls, and let's try to do as many of these as we can. And that's what we did. It's like the golden years of wholesaling, but it only lasted for about 18 months, and then everything changed.